part of me wishes that I had a cigar because then I could actually mock Andrew Tate. But I can't. So the best I've got going for me, I actually don't wish that I could follow in his steps because that would mean I would have to be violating children, and that just ain't me. Andrew Tate, however, according to Interpol, loves that shit. Now, I'm hoping for people to jump in and comment and have a conversation with me about it, but I don't know. I'm a small channel, so I don't necessarily see it coming. But when we talk about Andrew Tate, Trusty Ape, you got to get you one of what? I'm actually curious. I don't know what you're talking about. But like with Andrew Tate, we're talking about someone. I don't know. He exposes himself to kids, or I mean, child trafficking is a thing because Interpol was on him about that. The international police, as much as I like to yell ACAB, Interpol was after you. And if all of the world's police is after you, clearly you fucked up. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, part of me wishes that I was wearing this douchey robe with an inexplicable tattoo on my chest. Uh, just so I could complete the picture of your douchey parody. Like, I mean, okay. So, Andy, are you okay with me calling you Andy? I'm going to call you Andy regardless.
It's okay. I'm only half listening.
Because you're in prison. I'm not. I probably never will be because, well, let's face it, I don't actually break the law. Andy, do you really think you can take down someone like Greta Thunberg? I I recognize how intelligent I am. And according to my own personal bias, I'm up there. But I'm not stupid enough to fuck with someone like Greta goddamn Thunberg. Greta Thunberg, this 19-year-old girl that so many people take her intellect for granted. I'm not about to fuck with her because I'm not stupid. I mean, I'm on her side on the vast majority of issues, like when it comes to climate, governance, that sort of thing. I'm on her side, but I'm not about to get on her wrong side, like especially when pedos like you. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to sling out that word, but when pedophiles like you, Andrew Tate, I man, I got nothing on you. because I'm not about to follow in those footsteps. But someone like Greta Thunberg, who, yeah, no, fuck that trusty ape. He's a pedo. I don't fall for that minor attracted bullshit. Andrew Tate and his brother, who both are under arrest now for child sex trafficking, which is not a small charge. I mean, would you believe how stupid you have to be? I mean, actually, let's consider this. Let's consider it. How stupid do you have to be to know that you're on the run from Interpol, to stop in an Interpol country, post a video where you know that metadata can be tracked, and then post to a barely of age Greta Thunberg? I don't know. I can't say I've ever done something as stupid because I've never been on the run from the law before. And this is coming from someone who would very much love to see the capitalist law fall by the wayside. I mean, Jesus, titty fucking shit. The amount of fuck-uppery that has to happen with Andrew Tate. Oh, Purple nailed it. And yet Andrew Tate chose to post this video. Like, as much as I love the idea that a pizza box dimed him out, sources that I trust, like Snopes, have demonstrated that to not be true. So what I'm led to believe, because I don't know for a fact, I personally don't know how to do these deep dives into what got someone arrested. What I have to assume it is metadata from Twitter and YouTube, the global positioning from those two sources that got Andrew Tate arrested. That's what I have to assume it is. And Purple asks a very relevant question. How many January 6th idiots did they arrest because they posted pictures on social media? And not only pictures, but video too. Oh, up to and including libs of TikTok. I'm sorry, was I supposed to leave that out because libs of TikTok got arrested too? Because she's fucking stupid, an ignoramus idiot. I mean, actually think about it. Like, they probably just tracked his IP address. Yes, Purple. Almost definitely. Now let's not confuse what Purple just said with India Pale Ale, the preferred drink of the American Midwesterner. I personally hate them, but that's me. I mean, we're talking about some shitty people right now, and man, I got nothing. Like, how are we supposed to track down the worst of the worst? I mean, we've got the Trumple foreskins that are all like, oh yeah, let's love on Trump because he'll let us get away with whatever. Um, um, Trusty, if those are hazy, maybe. I like hazy IPAs. That's about where it stops. But I mean, we're talking about so much shit. I mean, Trump's tax returns were just released, and so much nothing is going to come of it. Hold up. Hey, Perp, what's up?
Yeah, I really wasn't feeling that social tonight, but I don't get a chance to stream with you very much.
Oh, thanks for hopping in.
Yeah, I still need to get a drink. I don't have any booze here yet.
You don't have any booze, or?
Well, I mean, it's way over there in the kitchen, which is like, 20 feet away.
Oh, so you have to do that thing where you get up and walk, and then
Yeah, I got to get out of my chair. I suppose I don't have to walk. It's crawling distance, but
I mean, you have to select the right cup and then pour the booze into the right cup.
yeah, I got to mix it. I can't drink it straight. I have to put some ginger ale over it.
Yeah. It's work, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although I do have the forethought of freezing my cups ahead, so.
Oh.
So I've got a couple of cups with ice in the bottom in the freezer.
See, you can't do that with beer. It'll ruin the beer.
Yeah, well, you don't pour beer over ice.
No, it's true. But there are morons that think you do. So, out of curiosity, while you're getting your drink, what are your thoughts on the arrest of Andrew Tate?
Well, clearly he's an idiot. That's really about it. Yeah, I had heard that the whole pizza box thing. I saw the Snoops thing about it, so I had actually seen late last night that story didn't really hold together.
So, for anyone who's curious about what Purple is talking about, Snopes.com demonstrated through whatever proofs they had to that the pizza box thing was a fake. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a hilarious joke.
Well, I found it especially funny because a couple of years ago, I figured out which city a YouTuber I watched was in because he had left a couple of empty pizza boxes in the background.
Wasn't me, was it?
Well, you've done that too.
Probably. Almost definitely.
Although with you, all the pizza boxes said were that you were somewhere in Ohio, so.
And I've said as much that I live in Ohio. But that's where I was going. I may have had a little much to drink.
Okay, so the lesson we've all learned from this is never order from a local place, only order from national chains.
Yeah, so Pizza Hut, Papa John's, don't do what I do. Don't order from.
Yeah, I'm pretty safe here. There aren't any local chains around here that are any good. When I lived in St. Paul, there was a chain that was called Papa John's, or it wasn't a chain, it was just one place that was called Papa John's. So that when the chain decided to expand into Minnesota, they actually had to buy the name off of the guy. So he changed his to John's Pizza Unlimited. And his family is still running that original store, and all they will say is that they don't have to worry about the money anymore. So now they're just running the place because they like doing it. It's a fantastic place because they do everything themselves. The sauce is even made from herbs they grow in their own garden.
Oh, shit. So you Purple, real quick. You saw Tyr, the good boy.
I saw him in the background. It looked like he was checking out the guinea pig cage.
Tyr. He's asleep by now. Yeah, no, like that. Shit. There's so much going on. I honestly don't know where to start. I mean, I just sort of threw this together as I'm drunk. Let's see where it goes.
Okay, I gotta put down my mic for a bit so I can go get a drink. I'll be right back.
Do it. So Kira, I've not seen you in my live streams before. How are you? Definitely. How goes the upcoming new year? Any other minutia in your life? I'm sorry I didn't see you before just now. And I've still not gotten an answer from Trusty Ape about my contradiction on West Coast IPAs, because I prefer. I'll admit it. I prefer the East Coast hazies. That's where I'm at. Which one? Purple's Christmas Marathon. So, Carrie, you're going to have to get a little more specific, because I was on a few of Purple's live streams. Obviously, there was my live stream that took place right after Purple's first. Then there was the live stream I covered because someone had to fall out. And there were a few or a couple that I jumped in on as a guest. So you may need to be a little more specific. Okay. Trusty Ape, if you're big on hazies, I think I can jive with you, but I mean, for me, hazies are summer, I just mowed the lawn kind of beer. Like this point of the year, I'm big on porters and stouts. Like I love those two particular brews, and it's absolutely because they're stereotypical winners. But I honestly don't know where to go with that. You don't remember Kira? There were a lot. That's not unfair. That's not even a little unfair. I mean, Purple had what? Minimum of 20 people over the course of 48 hours. So it's all good. I would hope I stand out, but if I don't, that's a sad thing for me. But I mean, I personally would think a luxurious beard like this would stick out. That's just
Well, you definitely stand out because you stepped up and you took over on very short notice there. That was Beck's computer went wonky and wasn't letting him stream.
no. I
So
remember
then
trying
you and
to.
Stephanie stepped in at the last hour and filled the spot.
I remember stepping in and trying to help straighten shit out with whose computer?
Beck's computer went all wonky, so he couldn't stream
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah, I stepped in and tried to help back out, and it just didn't take. But it's all good. By the way,
well,
doing
that happens every year. That somebody either just doesn't show up, or for one reason or another, they're too sick or too tired, they can't do it that night. So it's just expected that every year we're going to have one or two people who are going to be at the last minute telling me they can't do it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of shitty, though, right? Because
I mean, it's never anything they intend. Just things come up, and just if you schedule 20 streams, just the odds are that one of them's not going to happen.
Not unfair. It's not. But I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, like, I look at it this way: your channel is just the tiniest bit smaller than mine, and if someone did that to me, I don't know. I wouldn't have the ability to replace them.
Yeah, well, my channel just stopped growing quite a long time ago, and it seems that everybody in the community knows me. I just don't get that many viewers.
Yeah. So, just in case anybody out there is fucking up and is not subscribed to Purple Rhymes with Orange, they're in the comments.
I've been at it for 5 years. It would be nice if I could get up to 1,000 subscribers so I could get the extra stuff in the community tabs working.
Mm-hmm. Sinister Porpoise. I'm also being bitched at. Excuse me. By a tortoiseshell cat who's upset I didn't take her with me. I don't know exactly what that means, but if you went somewhere without your cat, that absolutely is deserving of consequences. Excuse me.
Well, they don't want you to take them with you. They just don't want you to go. Because how many cats actually will willingly get into their carrier? I mean, I still have some gouges on my arm from a month ago when I took Petunia to the groomer.
Yeah. I mean, we got to take kittens to the groomer. Oh, I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, Petunia's hair gets matted if we let it grow too much, so twice a year we just take her to get most of it shaved short.
Okay, well, I don't know how to respond to that.
Oh, your girl doesn't crop hers close?
I mean, a kitten that doesn't pack themselves into luggage, I don't know. I got nothing for you. I mean, I am particularly close to my two princesses, and holy shit, they'll fillet me before any of that happens.
Well, you just need to leave an empty cardboard box out and they pack themselves.
You're not wrong,
Yeah, Sammy did it when we were moving.
but I feel like murder would still ensue with my kittens.
Yeah, Sammy protests, but, not too bad. I don't bleed like I do with Petunia. For being declawed, she can still issue a lot of damage.
Hey, Microraptor, how you doing? How's it going? I've not seen you since one of the last of Purple's Christmas live streams. Oh,
Oh, no, Sinister Purpose, you can't come back smelling like another cat. She knows you've been cheating on her now.
yeah. That's just begging for punishment. Actually, that's demanding punishment. Yeah, I mean that's the kitten that's gonna just scratch and bite. Porpoise. Okay, yeah, no, I misread. Hello, Porpoise. I caught your last comment. It's just 1 o'clock. I've been drinking, and my memory is worth shit. That's good to hear. So, Porpoise, if I ever drop by your place, all I have to do is bring, unopened can of wet food. Because, I mean, let's face facts. Porpoise, as often as I've seen you in my chats, kittens.
Well, Porpoise just drove through Ohio. She should have stopped and said hi.
Oh, what the hell, Porpoise? I'd have offered shelter from the blizzard. Like, actually, I would have. I'd have sacrificed my spot on the bed. I wouldn't have sacrificed my CPAP machine, but I'd have sacrificed the spot on the bed. Because let's face it, without the CPAP machine, I got nothing. Not at all. Nothing. Clara, not exactly. For those who are curious, Ohio is not near Minnesota. If you want a little bit of context, Wisconsin is between Ohio and Minnesota.
Well, actually, you're 3 states away. I had to drive through Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana before I got into Ohio.
Okay, so you chose to do a south and then east sort of thing, but
Well, yeah, I could have just gone through Wisconsin and Michigan and across the Mackinac Bridge, but then I'd be driving the entire length of Michigan.
fair. But I mean, technically, Clara, technically, you're not wrong, but
Well, see, okay, Ohio is a very strange state
it is.
because most of the people in the Midwest think of Ohio as an eastern state. And when I lived on the East Coast, everybody said it was a Midwest state. So clearly, neither region is willing to claim it.
And yet, we're still Midwest.
I don't know. I'm not sure I should count anything east of Lake Michigan.
No, Ohio gets a little scary, but I mean, when you start talking football,
Which I never do.
um, that's when the Northeast starts to love us.
Yeah.
Not exactly. Um,
Yeah, Clara, Ohio used to be important before they closed down all the steel mills. Now nobody's interested in it.
Actually, Ohio has only ever been important because it used to be the swing state that decided the presidential election.
Yeah, before 2000.
Actually, the last time someone lost the presidential election and became president was this past election. Trump won Ohio, but lost the presidential election.
Yep. The one claim Ohio has that no state can contest is that there have been more astronauts from Ohio than any other state.
Yep. Last I saw, there were 23 astronauts that tried to leave the planet.
Which shows you how badly people want to get out of Ohio.
Baby, I've been trying to get out of this state my whole life. Adult life, I should say.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I know what you mean. I know how desperate I was to get out of that small place in Michigan. Of course, for me, that was the two problems of one, it being a small town, and two, just too much family monitoring what I was doing.
Porpoise, you thought Notre Dame was in Ohio?
I believe it's
South
in France,
Bend,
actually.
Indiana. Famously, Notre Dame is in South Bend, Indiana, nowhere close to Ohio. I don't know what you're thinking.
I'm still pretty sure the church is in France.
If you're talking about the cathedral that burned down, this actually depresses me a little bit because the fire burned down what's called the forest because it took massive timber that doesn't exist anymore to build the roof, just the roof of Notre Dame Cathedral.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I hate the Catholic Church, I hated seeing the forest burn down. I hated seeing it because they like there's so much history in that wood. I mean, I personally would have preferred that if I had gotten to work on it. Like, if I had gotten the slabs of the beams that held up the roof, not to mention just the roof, It would have sat in my garage for probably decades because I wouldn't know what to do with it. I wouldn't have the skill to do anything with it. But eventually I'd do something with it. Kira, you say make a guitar out of it? Between my father and myself, my dad is the luthier. My dad knows how to make guitars out of wood. And I think, honestly, I think my dad would be prouder of a guitar he made out of Notre Dame wood than he is of me. And I wouldn't blame him. Amazing architecture and art. Okay. Yeah. So one good thing religion has done is bring amazing architecture and art. Architecture and art doesn't require religion.
Well, religion has only been able to do it because they enjoyed the opulence while everyone else was broke.
Yeah.
They just had the money and the resources to fund these extravagant projects. Everyone else was trying to scratch out a living.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best argument for the UBI, that it would give people time to make art.
Yeah. I mean, if I had a universal basic universal basic income, if I had that, yeah, I'd be able to spend time in the garage. But I don't.
Yeah, I'm the same. If I could have, when I actually had room for a shop, but now I wouldn't have any. Yeah, I don't really have any place to work with my tools, but still, it would be nice if I could just spend my time writing and not have to worry about other things.
Yeah, I mean, my dad. I wish I paid attention when I was younger. I really do, because my dad, he got to go to an actual lutherie school in Canada after he got laid off. So all I'd have had to done when, like, my YouTube channel wouldn't exist, but I'd be okay with it because, one, I'd be making bank. Two, I'd be doing something I actually enjoyed. I'd be building guitars. I'd be building actually pretty much whatever instrument I wanted. If I'd have given my dad the time of day. But, well, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, I certainly don't understand music well enough to think I'd ever do instruments, but I would have liked to do furniture.
Building instruments is different from playing them, but I also am currently learning how to build furniture, however slowly that's going. I mean, right now I'm paying attention to building coat racks and bottle openers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Well, it gives you experience with the tools.
Yeah. I don't really like religion, by the way. I just mentioned a small positive among the shit. I don't blame you, Clara. I too hate religion. I often have been correctly accused of being an anti-theist, mostly because that's how I label myself. But very quickly, Purple, how prepared are you for tomorrow, for the new year?
Oh shit! I didn't even realize it was New Year's Eve here.
Well, I mean,
Well,
for the
technically, yeah, it just started, but yeah.
for the past hour and 22 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Well, that shows you how much attention I pay to it. And actually, my whole thing on Yule, on the winter solstice, that was originally when the New Year was. So that's what part of what that whole ritual is about, is seeing out the old year. But not having high expectations for the new year. I'm expecting 2023 to basically be a larger dumpster, hotter fire.
So let me try to spin this in a positive way. Perp, how many messages in your first few years running the Christian or Christmas relay? How many messages, whether in the YouTube chat or DMs, ats on Twitter, did you get saying that you saved people's lives?
Well, the first year I got 2 of those, and yeah, every year I do get a bunch of messages on Twitter or emails about, just people saying that how much they needed to have somebody to spend the night with. Just so many people being alone and depressed on the holidays. And Bubba's out, and I suck at monologuing.
I'm not out.
Oh, okay.
I just decided to give you the screen.
Okay, you scared me there for a minute. I thought you had dropped out.
No. I mean, the amount of good, I don't want you to minimalize.
Well, that's why I keep doing it every year, because, yeah, apparently it does make a difference to some people. And I get that. I mean, the time I was living in Michigan, this was it. This was the only socializing I have. Because I couldn't be out about anything to the people around me. So, talking to people online was the only time I could really be myself, that I didn't have to, keep a bunch of shit under wraps about being queer and being atheist and all this stuff.
Not unfair.
Even here, I'm not really out about being an atheist. The trans part is pretty much out, just because there isn't really any way I could keep that hidden from the people who live in my building. They kind of noticed the change.
Well, I mean, don't minimalize that either. Like, I mean, the amount of good you're doing for the trans community, just by saying, "Hey, by the way, I'm trans."
Oh yeah. No, I've been, part of the queer community since the 80s, and I've always felt that way, that, those of us who can, it helps everyone if we can be out and just make people in general more aware of it, and kind of get society in general more comfortable to the idea that, yeah, we're here.
Yeah. I mean, trans people are there. They exist. They're probably members of your family.
Yeah. Actually, an interesting benefit I wound up reaping from that was that since I was out about it, I was, my business was doing home repairs. And since I was out about everything, people were a lot more comfortable about me coming into their homes, because they didn't have to hide their books and sex toys and whatever. So yeah, for a good 15 years, virtually all the jobs I got were people that were from either the queer or the pagan community. just
Well,
because they knew I wouldn't be judging them by what I saw when I came into their home.
I mean, that's a good thing. Fuck.
Mhm.
Shit. I mean, goddamn. I mean, I know Alex is open about the sex toys that realistically we have. But I mean, if it meant someone coming in that, I don't know, say we lived in Texas. I mean, if we lived in Texas, we'd have to worry about different authorities coming in. But living in Ohio, we don't have that worry. So,
Well, it also led to some rather interesting projects I definitely wouldn't have gotten otherwise. That I had a couple of people who asked me to design and build dungeon equipment.
oh, okay. Well, I'm going to ask you to elaborate on that.
I built a St. Andrew's cross, and I actually built one of those ratcheting stretch tables.
You see, I actually have more than a few pieces of wood that I want to build St. Andrew's crosses out of. So we're talking 150-year-old plus wood
Ah,
that came from a bank. So we're talking restrictive, a very restrictive point of business. You know, I mean,
mine wasn't nearly so fancy. We just did 2x6s.
see, I refuse to work with this wood until I'm actually good at working.
Mm-hmm.
So
I had the same thing when I was living in Michigan. There was a stack of maple slabs in my mom's garage that I was free to take, but I never found a project that was worthy of them. It was just a tree my uncle had taken down, and he just cut it into slabs and left it there to season. And it had been sitting for 5 or 6 years drying, and nobody had any idea what to do with it.
see, I know exactly what to do with this wood. It's just a matter of me deciding that my skill is up there, and
Yeah.
it's simply not.
For me, it was, finding a project that would have displayed it well enough to make it worthwhile, and, something that I couldn't just use stuff that I got from the home center for.
Yeah. I know exactly what I want to do with it. It's just I simply don't have confidence to do it.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I have a
Well,
lot of anxiety with woodworking myself because all my skills are self-taught. Even
yeah.
though my dad was a carpenter, nobody really taught me anything when I was growing up. Just the tools were there, and I had to figure it out on my own.
Yeah. I mean, my dad, it's not for lack of trying on his part. He tried to teach me how to do woodworking. It's just that when I was young, I refused to listen.
I was the youngest of 9, and by the time I was born, my parents had basically just were done with raising kids. So I was kind of left to the older siblings to raise, and nobody really paid much attention to me at all. So nobody really taught me anything growing up. I had to do everything on my own. It's kind of weird that I grew up in a house with a dozen people, but I grew up neglected. Yep. Yeah, you've got to have it laying flat and you've got to have some spaces between the wood for the humidity. But you have to have enough supports. You don't want any long spans that aren't supported.
Yeah, that's something. I worked at a veneer mill when I was 18, 19, something along those lines. And I would regularly take wood from there. It wasn't theft. They let me take it. But I took so much wood because my dad was into lutherie, which is guitar building, just in case anybody's forgotten. And what pisses me off so much is that this was, by the end of me taking it from work, thousands of dollars of worth of wood that nothing happened with. Nothing happened with it. I was so upset at that fact. Because, I mean, there was one point where I was turning onto the street I lived and I lost the entire load. And I had to try to safely walk into the street, grab whatever I could by myself without any help.
Yeah.
And all that wood just gone. And it all would have been perfect for what my dad was trying to do to build a guitar. All he'd have had to do was dry it out a little bit more and do whatever he had to build it into a guitar. And all of the wood, all the way around would have been gorgeous, from the neck to the body to the head. It would have been beautiful. I gave my dad whole ass masterpieces that nothing ever happened with.
Yeah, it's a level of artwork I know I could have never done.
My dad could. When he was learning how to build guitars, he made this silver string guitar that he called the Spear of Destiny. It's because when he split the wood he was working with for the back, it looked like a spear. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Christian background, the Spear of Destiny is the spear that a Roman centurion stabbed Christ through the side with. And it was such a beautiful guitar. The sound was just amazing from it. I honestly have no idea what I would do with such a guitar, but goddamn, the sound that emanated from it.
I've always envied anybody who can play a musical instrument, because I've tried several over the years, and I don't have an ear for the music.
That happens. I mean, the first person that I knew personally that could play the guitar played. My school had a talent show that took place in a church, and this dude Are you familiar with the band Everlast? The song, or not Everlast? Maybe Everlast. The song "What It's Like."
No, doesn't. Not hitting anything right now.
Mary made shit. Mary met this kid named Tom. Said he was in love. Said, "God damn, baby, I'm the one that I've been dreaming of." But then one night, shit.
It's sounding vaguely familiar.
Yeah, it's a great song, and this dude played it in this church, and it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard in my life. Said, "Don't worry about a big thing, baby. I'm the man you've been dreaming of." Then late one night, once bigger fight, Max lost his head. Pulled out his Chrome 45, talked sick shit, and wound up dead.
Sloth Girl used to play guitar, but it's just too much for her anymore.
Yeah.
She just doesn't have the strength in her fingers to fret it properly.
Well, I mean, as long as it makes her happy.
Yeah, well, I wish she would, but she's given up on it.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you
How do you not know? I mean, you don't have to know personally who Jimi Hendrix is, but
yeah, I know virtually nothing about music, but obviously I know his reputation at least.
yeah.
I mean, who has not heard about
his teeth? I mean, come on.
Yeah, who has not heard about Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock?
Yeah. We're talking about a dude who put a cube of oh shit, what's the drug? LSD. You put a cube of LSD under his a cube of LSD under his do-rag that he was wearing, and he just sort of played through it, and goddamn.
So, have you ever met any famous artists?
I have not. I mean, if we're talking about Jimi Hendrix, yeah, sure, I wish I had, but he died before I was aware he existed.
Oh, hey, Jenny. Yeah, I knew about that Jimi Hendrix had strung his guitar upside down.
Oh. I'm about to call it quits. I honestly didn't expect to go this far with the live stream. I just sort of hope to kind of hit it and quit it.
Well, I'm glad we had a chance to chat a bit.
Oh yeah. Thanks for having me on your live stream series, not once but twice. I appreciate it.
Like I said, it was huge that you stepped in on such short notice to fill an empty spot there.
Hey, it's all good. Anytime, all you have to do is ask. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off. Alex is demanding my attention.
Well, go.
I will see you all tomorrow at my New Year live stream. So enjoy that. Take it easy, everybody.
Okay.